Technology has been a bit of a bear lately. Oh, there we go. There's one. There's two. There's three. And we're good to go. All right. Hey, Angie. How's it going? The technology has been ridiculous. Um, the last couple of days. I don't know what retrograde is going on right now, but Chris and I were doing an episode of the Traveling Groomers podcast, and it just poofed, just poof, just totally disappeared right in front of my eyes. Zoom, the platform, was doing some sort of an update, and just it just died. I don't know where it went. Went to cyberspace someplace. I have no idea. So we're gonna have to re-record that episode. So I think what I want to talk about today, there's actually a couple of things. Um, I was first going to talk about pet first aid kits, and then I realized that if you got my newsletter, that's exactly what was in today's newsletter was pet first aid kits. So it's all right. Maybe we'll do that in a couple of weeks. You loved the Lisa Lady interview. I thank you. Yeah, we've had a couple of instances where the technology just was like not happening. Sorry, do it again. I had to redo Dara's interview as well too because the same exact thing happened. And then apparently one day I decided to name all of the podcasts the same thing, and then uploading them turned out to be a little bit of an issue. But anyway, whatever. Live and learn. So anyway, what I decided to do, I had posted something in Pet Groomer Down Hall, and it was something I had basically taken from someplace else, and it was from the guy who posted it. His name is Kerwin Ray, and it's dealing with customers that want to lowball you. And what I'm getting from this is he's probably some sort of a coach on it. But what he has to say is really valid. I think part of the problem, part of the reason that, first of all, people even try to lowball us or X for multi-dog discounts. I mean, part of the reason is that as an industry, we have allowed it over the years, all right? But we're not, again, as an industry, demonstrating to the general public what the real value of what it is we do. I don't think they understand what we do. That it's just, oh, we throw the dog in the tub and we wash them, and yeah, that's kind of the end of it. And how hard can it be? It's just grooming a live animal. So I think there's part of the issue is that they don't understand what we do. Now I do have. I don't know if I have it in the files here. Let me just take a quick peek because I may not. Nope, I don't. So what I'll do is I'll upload later. I've written some on what to expect from grooming. All right, and that kind of was born out of having a house built in Washington. So the builders sent us online, mind you, not even in the mail, online, some I guess a manual that was 111 pages long. I mean, 111 pages. I skimmed through it. My husband actually read it, but in it was very detailed on to expect from building a house. And I think the hope of it was is that we actually read it so that when we have questions that are clearly answered in this 111 page document, that we're not calling them with dumb stuff. All right. So I have something what to expect from grooming, and it's not 111 pages. It's like 2 pages. And it sort of details to clients a little bit more in detail what exactly it is that we do. And it's editable, so you can change it around. It's a document. It's not a PDF. So you can kind of like tailor it to your own needs so that you can explain and have our clients understand what is truly the value of what it is that we offer. Right? And as usual, questions, pop them in. I've just got to flip through real quick just to make sure. And I am back at Groomer Town Hall. Yeah, Angie, in the one workshop, must have grooming forms, that's included in there. So you just have to go to where the documents are and download it. I will also put that in the files here for group members. So I think it's kind of important to have our clients understand what we do, and then we can then go from there. Because if it's not willing to pay or give, and I don't blame people. I mean, it's not. I mean, I look for bargains all the time too. So I don't get all upset when someone tries that. It's just that I'm just like really, really clear that this is my pricing, and this is why. All right. So I think sometimes just taking that little extra time to, even if it's somebody you don't want as a client, just so that they understand what it is that we do and why we're worth what it is we're worth. Okay. So that said, I may still talk about pet first aid kit because that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. Because if you're not already in the newsletter, you won't get the little thing I did today. So let me just get that file up real quick. Okay. It's not here. I thought I posted it. Or I do. Hold on. Bear with me a second. Because if not, I have to find it. I'll forget it. I'm sure I have a photograph of it in here. We go to photos. And yes, I do. It's right here. Okay. So, there's a couple things on here that I have a list. If you go into the photographs, it's a pet first aid kit checklist. Okay. And this is just so the general stuff that is in my kits. I just want to like really quickly kind of go over it and explain what and why it's in here. Okay. So the first thing on my list is activated charcoal, and it's and what that is, it's used to absorb ingested poisons. So it's not something I'm going to use unless I'm directed to by a veterinarian, but it's there. Activated charcoal has an expiration date, so it's one of those items that you need to check to make sure is still good. Antibiotic cream. I don't use triple antibiotic because I groom cats. While it's a very, very rare allergy, the combination of the 3 ingredients can be fatal for some cats. So the antibiotic cream in my pet first aid kit was just a regular one. You kind of need to know what the laws are in your state. There are instances in which applying antibiotic cream in certain states might be considered practicing veterinarian medicine and is frowned upon when done by groomers for people's pets. Antihistamine and a safety pin. It's the liquid. It's the I'll just Benadryl, CVS, Walmart, doesn't matter. But they're the ones that have the liquid in the center, so that if you have to give a pet an antihistamine, the safety pin is used to puncture it. You could squeeze it onto the tongue of the pet. Baking soda, I would use that to something topical got onto the pet, and so baking soda can help absorb that. Band-Aids, that's for me, right? I don't use Band-Aids on a pet, and that's something that's like replenished on a very, very regular basis. I've had a lot of people ask me why I have expired gift cards on my first aid kit. And expired gift cards, iTunes cards, what it is that if I have to flick a bee stinger off, that's how you do it. It's also just the right size for pads, so that if you cushion both sides of this and wrap this to the foot, so if you have, like, if you sliced a pad, so gauze on both, let me get the better picture. Yeah, gauze on both sides, kind of cushions it, wrap it with the gauze roll around, and it's got to go up around the knuckles. So this is the thing, the paw, it's got to go up high, and you got to crisscross it. Eye wash is also can double as a wound rinse because it's not it's safe. It has the right salt salinity for wound rinses. It's so that'll help speed healing. You cannot use hydrogen peroxide, that kills healthy cells. Alcohol hurts. Well, we got wound cleanser down at the bottom, so we'll get to that. But that's one of those double items. The gauze rolls, wrap, pad, and non-sticks. I always have non-stick gauze because that's the first one that I'll use on an injury, because when you remove it, it won't remove the scab. I keep honey packets for pets that go into diabetic shock on me. However, there's a huge difference between like low blood sugar and ketone acidosis, and you don't want to confuse the two. They are easily confused, so it's not something I would do to any given pet unless, again, a vet told me to do so. Hydrogen peroxide is used only to induce vomiting in dogs. You can't use it to induce vomiting in cats because it is toxic to cats. Liquid bandage, meaning liquid bandage, not super glue or crazy glue. Neither one of those two, crazy glue, super glue, have medically safe ingredients. You can cause a lot of problems using those two products. Liquid bandage still needs to be used properly, okay? Because if it's used improperly, you can seal bacteria into the wound. You can cause a lot of damage. So if you don't know how to use a liquid bandage, have your vet show you, and again, be aware of the laws in your state regarding what might be considered practicing veterinarian medicine. Plastic baggies, rubber gloves. If I have to get some sort of poop or vomit sample, sanitary napkins are really good for like big bleeding injuries. A squirt bottle. If I have to induce vomiting in a pet, I am not going to be able to get hydrogen peroxide down their throat all that easily. I'm going to put it in a squirt bottle. Styptic powder for nail injuries, and nail injuries only. You cannot use styptic powder to stop bleeding anywhere else on the body. You can use tea bags for that. Tea bags contain tannins, which is a natural coagulant. So you don't have to worry about it, like sugar can push a pre-diabetic pet into diabetes. I don't mess around with sugar. I use a tea bag instead. Vet wrap. I love vet wrap. The only thing you need to be really concerned with vet wrap is that it's self-tightening, meaning if you wrap a leg with it, as the pet moves, it's going to tighten. So it can only be left on for a short period of time. And wound cleansers. Okay, again, not the hydrogen peroxide, not the alcohol, not water either, unless that's all you have, but either a chlorhexidine-based wound cleanser, which you could find in any supermarket. Okay, it's usually light blue in color. Or I like the Vetericyn products, which is actually my personal choice. So anyway, let me get rid of that and get rid of that. And if you have any questions about what it is I just talked about. Okay, so, and here's the thing. Sometimes I really hate Facebook because it says 11 comments, but, they only want to show me 4 of them. So, hi, Kelly. Yeah, the gift cards, that was kind of like a light bulb moment for myself. I realized that there was like just the perfect size for that. So let's see if I can go over to Facebook and see what the other comments are. Like I said, never, ever, ever, ever sugar. So just bear with me. And get rid of that. Okay. Yeah, like I said, never, ever, ever. Let me see that. All right, so Angie said she spent 30 minutes on the phone with someone that had an appointment but refused to pay more than $30 for her once-a-year cat groom for her long-haired cat. I explained in detail why it would cost me much more than that to groom her cat. When it was all said and done, I referred her to another shop and said if they could do it for less, but understand if they can't. She was getting it done by someone who is not a groomer for $30. Okay. Well, yeah. Sometimes that's the problem too, because they'll have their pets groomed someplace else by somebody who is not a professional, and of course they're just, it might be fine, but they're not professional. So Kelly goes, what did I miss about cats? Okay, so the first half-ish of this was we were talking about, because I had posted something up from some guy named, what's his name? Kerwin Ray, about dealing with customers who lowball you all the time. All right. So at one part, it's sticking to your good boundaries. All right. Having set boundaries, we do that through our intake forms. Sticking to our guns, but so that the client understands this is our pricing. This is the value we offer. It's the clients sometimes really just don't know what it is we do. Okay, and if you would have asked me before I was a groomer, I might have had, I would not have had any idea what groomers do either. Okay, as usual, you could throw some questions in here. There will be no live stream next Monday because I am going to be in Holden, Massachusetts, doing a 3-day pet tech instructor program. So I will get home way too late on Monday. So we'll go over to the following Monday. Okay. And a pre-round of applause for Angie, who is going to be next Monday a pet first aid instructor. So congratulations. So where was I? Okay. Yeah, so we're really excited about that. The rest of the stuff from Pet Tech came today, so I had to go through that. I've packed the car. It's all ready to go. So I'm looking forward to that. Christy says she needs an update. Um, you can come out to Washington if you like. Um, this class that I'm doing this upcoming weekend, this is the last live class I am doing anywhere until October. Okay. Once I'm in Washington, I'll start setting up classes again. With the exception, I will be at Super Zoo. Okay. Angie says she's been studying like a maniac. Yeah, there is. The four people who are taking that class are really and truly going to appreciate exactly what goes into teaching the pet first aid program. I'm not worried about you at all. Okay, you're very thorough, so I'm honestly and truly not concerned. So, where was I? The next round of instructor trainings will be in Washington with me, by the way. Um, you don't want to, if you're interested in becoming an instructor and you don't want to make the trip out to Washington, I can hook you up with another instructor in another part of the country. But anyway, where was I? So we got that going on. We just did yesterday, in fact, Barb Hoover's IC versus employee workshop. So that's now available as a recording. And upcoming, I got my calendar up here. The next live workshop is going to be August 25th. That's right after Super Zoo, by the way. And that's going to be Melissa Jepson. She's going to be doing the do's and don'ts of a salon build out. So for those who are thinking about redoing your salons or starting from scratch, that would be a really good one to watch. And the only other thing that I've got going up on online, by the way, because that's going to be it until at least October, I do have a 6-week intensive business program. All right. It's not ever going to be offered at that price again. All right. It's still beta. I'm still working on it. $497 for non-positive educational training members, $247 if you are. And there's 3 spots left in this program. So I think, unless we have questions, let me just check to make sure everything gets answered before I call it a night. As usual, if you have questions and you're watching this, if you are watching this later, pop the question into the chat, tag me in it, because Facebook sometimes decides how many comments they're going to show or not going to show. Okay? And I believe you may be good. Anyone has any thoughts on what they would like to see for upcoming workshops, please let me know. If you have a topic for 2 weeks, let me know. And back to Pet Groomer Town Hall. Okay, Christy says, Christy says, I was having that conversation, IC employee debate yesterday with an owner of a shop I am looking to buy. Ooh, is this going to be shop number 3? So Kelly wants to know what kind of tea bags. Black tea bags, plain black tea bags. Whatever is on sale in the supermarket. It does not have to be $4 a tea bag, organic tea. It just needs to be black tea. And Angie says, and I'm so glad it doesn't start until August. That's right. The first class is August 4th. So you could focus on the first aid. Yeah. You're taking some serious classes. So, yeah. So I'm waiting for Kelly. Christy, how many shops is this going to be? I really like this. But you can't, you have to. It's Pampered Chef, by the way, so you got my little orange slice in here. And like I said, I hate Facebook sometimes. It's not showing me everything. All right. So if that's it, we will call it a night. And I will see everybody in 2 weeks. I am always available if you tag me in the group. Okay? This group, either Pet Groomer Town Hall or Holistic Pet Professionals, to answer any questions. So, good night, everybody. See you in 2 weeks. And that's it.